Now I want to show you the next really cool feature of JBDS5 that maybe you're not aware of because it's not even visible on JBoss Central. It's kind of hidden behind the scenes, and we'll get working on that later. But let me go ahead and remove this Rich Faces application you saw earlier. Um, Remove it out of the way. Close these mobile browsers down. But I'm going to show you Forge. All right, so Forge is again kind of hidden out there. What you need to do is hit Control 4 on your keyboard or Command 4. You can also get to it from Windows Show View. It'll say, hey, do you want Forge running? Do say yes. Otherwise, you won't have much fun with Forge if, in fact, it's not running. And one of the things I want to be able to do is I want to run this Forge script. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up. And actually, let me just copy it to my local machine here. So it's out here in drop space. Here we go. I'm going to just drop it right here. Okay, and we're going to talk about this guy here in a second, so let's go and pop him up. Okay, we'll talk about him in a second. Let's go and get him running. So Forge is a command line tool, and even though I'm running here on Windows, I would still use Linux-like commands. And you can see I am in the workspace under Getting Started 2. I don't have any projects open. I could CD into, let's say, the JBoss project, JBoss E6 web project that I had earlier. And now I can actually augment that project using Forge commands. And Forge has a lot of commands, but it's best if we just kind of let Forge start from scratch. So I'm going to say run // and then forge demo.fsh. Let's see if I did that correctly. Okay, I need to name my project. My project will be the Forge demo 1. Just give it a name. com.bersutter forge demo 1. And project directory, workspace, Forge Demo 1. Yep, looks good. So, all right, it's cruising there. Let me kind of walk through this so you can kind of see what's going on. So it's churning away in the background. You notice it issued the new project command, which then prompted me for my user, my project name and my package name. Then it says accept defaults, which basically means anytime Forge would ask me a question, it basically just takes the default answer, which is kind of nice. The next thing is to do the persistent setup, specifically around Hibernate and JBoss 7. So I didn't have to set up anything there. It did that for me. It then creates entities, customer, within the package model with a first name and a last name. It then creates an item entity. And these are JPA entities it's building up. And you can kind of see what's happening here in the background. As it's doing its thing, there's the product order item. They're all popping into place right there. Okay, and if I drill down over here in the project, it looks like it's already finished churning away. There is in my model package, you can see customer, address, item. So all these entities were dynamically rendered because of these commands coming into Forge. And you can hand type these commands as well. I just chose to run them as a script. Again, there's the entity, address, profile, zip code. It goes in and modifies provides relationships between address and profile in this specific case. So if you kind of open up address here, let's see if we can kind of see that. Many to one right there with zip code. You can see it right there. Okay, and then it does a scaffold setup specifically for faces. And what that means is it's going to generate for you the JSF screens needed for create, read, update, and delete. So if I come in here, you can kind of see that under web app, like customer is a good example, there's a create, a search, and a view. So the create or edit, and then I can search for these things and see what those customers look like. So it also produces the backing components for that. All right, address bean, customer bean. And then if you come down a few more lines, it actually does a REST setup. So REST and an endpoint from entity, and it's going to generate the RESTful endpoints for me. So those guys all have a REST endpoint, and you can see right here at path, at post, at get. So the full CRUD operations on customer available right here using JAX-RS. So what's really nice about this is you have an instantaneous application. You can just modify the script and you're off and running. And again, it's a Maven-based project. You can kind of say run as and see Maven-based build here. But because we've integrated Maven, all you have to do is say run on server. And I'm going to run it on that server right there, hit finish. It'll go through the process of doing the Maven compilation, the Maven packaging and building of that and deployment. And now I have my application that Forge has created given to me. So I can come here and click on item. I don't have anything in this database, so I can say create new. And I can say I want 128 gigabyte SSDs in my inventory. I'm going to sell them for $250. and I'm going to have 25 of them in inventory and hit save, and you can see that record is now added, and you can also see the activity on the console down here. So that is the basic up and running, get started with Forge right away. This demonstration is actually part of the quick starts which ship with App Server or EAP6, and so you can just take it apart and write your own script. And like I said, you can easily go in here and type these commands yourself. Like if I come back to the Forge console, like if I want to issue a build of the project, I can just type in build, and it goes through. That's the same thing as saying mvn package as an example, and it produces the WAR file for that. And I can do an ls, and just to show you a couple other features, like I can cd into source, I can cd into main. All right, so I'm navigating as if I'm at the command line, but I'm at a command line within Eclipse here. Go to Java, okay, com, and let me see, I want birthSutter. So again, I'm just switching back and forth. Don't mind the UTF-8 not supported by the Java runtime. We're working on that, but it is definitely an error that plagues you for now. But watch this. I can cd into customer.java, okay, and do an ls. And I get all the getters and setters associated with that. So I get the internal fields and the getters and setters showing up there. So there's a lot to explore in Forge. I just wanted to give you a quick overview so it'll get you excited. Remember, Control-4 or Window, Show View, Other, and Forge. So that's where it's hidden. This is Beta 2 of JBoss 5. I encourage you to go check out Forge. And I actually have another Forge demo I'll show you in a moment.